say it again, brother.
The first TV was invented to channel spirits.
Yes, the first TV. It's called television. We call it the television. And it's called TV, television program.
Right.
Like the radio programming. All they doing is bouncing waves. They bouncing waves and you look up and you got a subliminal message in your mind. I heard the it's called like me. I know where your kids and your wife be. Wife be. Busting the good heads to your wife be. Wife be. The whole love fight. Look, it's more than the notion, y'all. It's more than the notion. You got something else?
Right.
The music is what it is sing tone. The tone is to get into people's mind. Right. That's all it's about. It's like if you heard that, what's that, Ray and, I forgot, Ice Cube, I'm a killer, Yeah. Push it in, keep it in your mind, but it's all about singing. And music is, that's why we got it. And it also said the Bible devil is, the earth.
Ephesians 2. Yeah. Ephesians 2 and 2. You got something out?
Yeah, I do a lot in the industry. They say it's a thing they call notes. They say the world moves in a vibrational frequency. They say if you want to be in line with the earth, it's in a high C note. But if you want to be at a lower vibration, do a negative F note. And they say it channel different spirits. So if you want to make a hit record, they say make sure you do it at high C note. If you want to fight record, do it at low F note.
Low F note. Now check this out. That's ancient knowledge. Our forefather David.
That's right.
He used the what? The heart to do what?
Drive that wicked spirit off.
See, you balance spirits through waves, brain waves, music waves, vibration. It's the same thing. Now, again, if that doorway, that spiritual eye, that doorway you let in negative energy, wicked spirits, and guess what you're going to be? You're going to be a vessel of God.
That's right.
Wicked spirits.
That's where that term music savage beats come from.
That brother right there was signed with Death Row. Brother D right there. He tell you about all that Tupac and them in Vegas.
Check out the dude named James Todd.
John Todd.
Look him up on YouTube and you tell you about
Sweetie Todd.
He talking about that backward mass.
Our records are massive. So y'all, it's a spiritual world down here, y'all, that's, that we're not in tune to, and if it come upon you, it'll cause sudden fear that we ain't supposed to have.
Exactly.
It'll make you run out to the middle of the street. Or you see a baby turn from a demon and then back to the baby, then you know you got a butcher knife killing the baby. I'm saying it looked like a demon, and they're like, yeah, right, get him back in his bag.
It's a serious thing. You gotta understand what we up against. Next we're going to 2 Corinthians chapter 10. You got some brother?
About the baby.
Hold it down, y'all.
All right, next we're going to 2 Corinthians 10. Y'all be going over the spiritual eye, which is your third eye, which science call today your pineal gland.
That's right.
Which look just like your eye and it's in the middle of your brain. And it's the doorway to higher spiritual dimensions. Now either you're going to let through the wicked spirits or righteous spirits.
That's
you
right.
have to decide. We're going to 2 Corinthians 10 next. And you said that the other one was first time.
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Now I, Paul, myself beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of Christ, who in presence am base among you, but being absent am bold towards you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh.
Some people think that about us. They think it's the newest game or something.
Right.
I want to call this thugged out Christian.
Right.
Call this thugged out Christian. Come on now, that's the best you got. Thugged out Christians. You think if we walk after the flesh.
Documented street thugs.
Documented street thugs. Yeah, so some people will get their misconstrued and think that's what we on. You feel me? We're not on that. Alright? Why? Because it's been explained. Come on, brother, next verse.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
It's not a fleshly war.
That's right.
We in the flesh, but this is not a fleshly war. In other words, this war will not be won with your weapon stockpiles, your AKs, your bullets, any of that. This war will not be won with that. It's not a fleshly war. Come on, brother.
Hey, bro, can you start from 1 again?
6 Corinthians 10 and 1. You heard, brother? Go ahead, make sure that's brother there.
Start at 1.
Yeah.
Verse 1. Now I, Paul, myself beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of Christ, who in presence am base among you, but being absent am bold towards you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walk according to the flesh. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
See that? They're not carnal. They're not physical weapons.
That's right.
Come on, brother.
But mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
What's a stronghold? Who knows?
Addiction.
Huh?
Addiction.
Any belief that you have that's not the Most High,
Idol.
that keep
Yeah.
you not following the law.
Yeah, that's what they say it again, Kanye. Say.
Any belief that you believe in that ain't of the Most High,
That's right.
that's a stronghold. Something that like try to take you away from believing in the Most High, like Egyptology,
Yeah.
Kemetism, all of that.
Yeah, it's a stronghold. They got a lot of our people trapped.
For real, because it's like, yeah.
So doctrine does matter. A false doctrine can be a stronghold on them.
Because it's holding you back from the truth. That's why it's called a stronghold.
No doubt. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Finish.
Verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ,
Right?
and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
Read that verse 7.
Do ye look on things after the outward appearance?
Still stuck on the outward flesh. Huh? Some of these Israelites is doing a bigger disservice to this word than these heathens.
That's right.
That's right.
Straight up. Let's call it what it is. All right, come on, brother.
If any man trust in himself that he is Christ,
Right.
let him of himself think this again,
Think it again.
that as he is Christ,
So you better
even
think
so are we Christ.
So he said something in there about the weapons of our warfare. We about to go identify these weapons. All right? Ephesians chapter 6, 10 through 18. What are the weapons of your warfare?
Right.
What do you bang with since it's not carnal? Since Floyd Mayweather can't show up throwing his hands thinking he can be able to outbox the devil.
Right.
What do we have then? What does the Lord give us? What are our weapons? What you gonna use? Huh? When Satan invade that spiritual eye and tell you, yeah, dog, go hit the U.S. Bank.
That's right.
On the word.
What are you gonna use? See, that's how you know a lot of people gonna snap out, man, because a lot of people believe in the Bible, fairy tale. The white man, it's mythical. It's all an allegory. It's all allegory. So when they go down and these spirits start manifesting themselves, people gonna go left field, right?
That's right.
They're gonna be zombies out here, believe it or not. All right, these Ephesians chapter 6, let's identify these weapons. Let's identify these weapons. You need to know these things because your spiritual eye is under attack. Our spiritual eye is under attack. Believe that.
Right there, Ephesians 6, 10. Finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord.
Be what?
Be strong in the Lord.
Come on.
And in the power of his might.
Be Be strong in the Lord. Why would he be saying that? Huh? I understand you in a war, but the scriptures say, finally, brethren, be strong in the Most High. You serve the Most High power of all powers. It ain't a power in existence that can trump the Lord.
That's right. All right.
Be strong in it. All right? Come on, brother.
11. Put on the whole armor of God.
No, some of it.
The whole armor of God.
Come on.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
What's a lie? Who knows?
Ways.
Tricks of the devil. Huh? But the devil comes tempted. How? How does he tempt you? By the way. He comes subtle. But how? Where at?
With your own love.
Your own lust,
That's
right?
right.
And that lust is something that be on your mind as you dwell. That's right. We keep talking about this spiritual eye, which is the eye of the mind. That's where it's coming from.
That's right.
Our spiritual eyes under attack. He come and tempting with that, but regardless of what it be, regardless of wherever we weak at, that's what we coming through, right there. Up, I see an opening, a kink in his armor, got it. All right, so the Lord say, the Bible says, be strong in the Lord. And the power of his might, you got to strap up, you got to put on the full armor. That way you can stand against these tricks. Because don't never underestimate your enemy. He from the beginning is way.
That's right.
He come doing the same thing though. We look at Satan as if he's some chump. Huh? He's some new jack on the scene. But look, he done been tricking them since the beginning of time.
That's right.
So you need to know his tricks.
Hey,
Yeah. He was manipulating longer than we've been studying.
1/3 of the angels.
that's right.
All right, come on, brother.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Against what?
Spiritual wickedness in high places.
Spiritual wickedness in high places. And it says against principalities.
Right.
Look at that principality, brother.
And also, Manny, what's the high places? The high.
Look at principality. This plank is going to explain it all. You got me out?
Yeah, I'm looking at Hebrews 4.
Look up that principality. That's in the Ephesians. So you got to go there. What's a principality? Look that up for me real quick, brethren. We need to know what a principality is. You can know what you're fighting against.
That's right.
Then just to show biblically, we're going to Daniel. We talking about Daniel earlier today. We've been in Daniel the whole time. Daniel chapter 10. Show y'all what a principality is. While the brother looking it up. Daniel chapter 10, verse 13. Verse 13 on down to 20. Through 21. Let's get a scriptural understanding of what it is and then run forward the definition. Hold your spot, Ephesians. We're coming right back to it. Daniel chapter 10, 13 through 21. What is a principality? What does that mean? This says in high places. You talking about skyscrapers or something? That's right.
You got the document. What document you got to say?
Huh?
Document over
Yeah, you got it?
principle document yeah. Ruler, rule, order of power, powerful angels and demons.
Say that, read that again, bro.
Ruler, order of powerful angels and demons.
Order of powerful angels and demons. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities.
That's right.
Ain't. Now, it's a straight spiritual war, huh? Battling against angels, demons. Right. Serious? No, brother, that just sounds a little too far-fetched. The brother said, that sounds like that spooky stuff. I don't know, though. I ain't thoroughly convinced yet. Right? That's the definition bro just read. He gonna get out the concordance. Let's read about these different princes and principalities real quick. Daniel chapter 10. Hold that Ephesians. We're coming back there. Daniel 10, 13 to 21.
Everybody there?
So you can understand what you're fighting against.
But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 1 and 20 days. But lo, Michael,
of the chief
Right,
princes.
12. My bad. 12. Now you 10 to 12. We're going to read to 21. Notice he just read the definition of rank and order of angels and demons.
That's right.
Principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places. You know what the high place is called? Get it now? Come on, brother. Let's read.
Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, but lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the king of Persia.
Persia is a nation. It's a nation of people. So they didn't know what is Iran. So Daniel was praying to the Lord for some understanding. Finally, a messenger of the Lord showed up, an angel, and he said, well, look, I would have been here, but I was held back by the prince or principality of Persia for 21 days. Did they have a movie called Prince of Persia? You think it's talking about a physical man right here? In other words, there's wars in the spiritual realm as well.
That's right.
Going on. And it manifests right here in our earthly realm, earthly presence. So with the angel telling Daniel, look, I've been watching the message, but I was banging with the Prince of Persia, the principality of Persia. That's an angel you talking about. You talking about no man. He read
14.
Then he said, Michael, the chief prince, showed up to help me.
That's right.
Michael was one of the top archangels in the Bible.
Right.
That got to do with war. Come on, bro.
14.
Yeah.
Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days, for yet the vision is for many days.
Come show Daniel what's going to happen to these Israelites. In the what days?
The latter days.
Days you in now.
That's right.
Come on, bro.
And when he had spoken such words unto me, I set my face toward the ground, and I became dumb.
What that mean? I don't mean he just lost knowledge. He became retarded. Couldn't speak, speechless.
Right.
Right? He's looking at a messenger of the Most High.
That's right.
I mean, in the presence of the Lord right there. He's stuck like, oh. All right, come on, brother.
And behold, one like the similitude of the sons of men touched my lips. And I opened my mouth and spake, and said unto him that stood before me, O my Lord, by the vision my sorrows are turned upon me, and I have retained no strength. For how can the servant of this my Lord talk with this my Lord? Did I read that right?
Yeah.
For as for me, straightway there remained no strength in me, neither is there breath left in me.
His whole strength and everything was zapped out.
That's right.
How in a messenger of the Most High, he lost strength and everything. Couldn't speak. Whoa! Come on, bro.
Then
Let you know angels ain't little white little babies in the house. Johnson baby house. It gotta be something majestic and of power for you to be like, whoa! Yeah, it took the breath about you. Come on, bro.
Then there came again and touched me one like the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me, and said, O man greatly beloved, fear not.
See that? Fear not. He was shook. And don't be scared though. Come on.
Right. Peace be unto thee.
Shalom. Come on.
Be strong. Yea, be strong. And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened, and said, Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me. Then said he, Knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia, and when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come.
And in world history, the Greeks took down Persia. Showing you this thing going down in the heavens as well. Right in the heavens. Every nation got a principality or an angel over it.
That's right.
Every nation. Come on, bro.
But I will show thee that which is noted in the scripture of truth.
Right.
And there is none that holdeth with me in these things, but Michael your prince.
But Michael, your prince. So the high places, brother, is the heavens.
That's right.
Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities, spiritual wickedness, word, high places. thing going on in the heavens. And it manifests right here on our earthly existence. Wow, really, brother? Read that definition.
Principality
Yeah.
comes from the Greek word arche. This is G756 in the Greek. Beginning, origin, the person or thing that commences, the first person or thing in a series, the leader, the first place, principality, rule, magistrate of angels and demons.
There we go again. Angels and demons. So that's what you fighting, this spiritual war in high places.
That's right.
Come on, brother.
The extremity of a thing, that by which anything begins to be, the origin, the active cause, principality.
That's it for that. Let's get back to this Ephesians 6. Now that we know what principalities are, which are angels, which are nothing but spirits, into it.
Y'all, it is a serious scrap going on with the angels of the Most High and those fallen angels. Even when you read the book of Jude, verse 9, you see that Michael was scrapping with Satan about the body of Moses.
Yes, sir.
He contended with him, but he just told him, look, you've been through this once when I had to get you up out of heaven. You know, we don't have to deal with this again. He didn't have to bring no real accusation against him. You know, don't have to cuss the devil out. Just tell him, get going. Simple command.
Get thee behind me.
That's it.
And you believe it or just ain't gonna play with it. Then when you tempted to go left field, you don't say nothing, I'm scared. No, rebuke that temptation. You gotta go, you ain't got no place or body. Like you was slamming doors, somebody's face and they ain't knocking on your door. You feel me? Hey dog, I got all these watches and these Xbox 360s to say what's good. And you know he's stealing everything. What you gonna do? I ain't buying it. Don't even entertain that. That's bad.
Right.
Get up out of here. At least be all up in here. That's how you gotta view the devil. You can't give him no place, you can't play with him. He's simply there to be a test of your righteousness. Huh? The Lord get a command, here comes slick with him.
That's right.
When the Lord done with him, he gonna destroy him. He's put there to test your righteousness and your knowledge of the Lord. And he always comes. What does the Lord command you? You say, oh, okay, I can do this, that, the third. Man, stop it. He just don't want you to have fun. He just don't want you to have fun. Then you say, dang, you don't want me to have fun. Dang. Right? And then you off doing opposite of what the Lord commands.
That's right.
Right? But he tempts you, he starts with your mind. And they come right to that third eye. All right, let's get back to Ephesians 6. Now we know what a principality is. Fonzo, what's a principality, bro? Fonzo, bro. What's a principality, bro?
Principality. Spiritual principality. Wicked things, wicked places.
Yeah, that's what the scripture says. I'm going to Ephesians 6. I ain't talking about like somebody that's ruling the castle or something. You feel me? But according to Ephesians, we read when it says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities. What's a principality in that scripture? What we just read in Daniel chapter 10. What you think, brother? Y'all, sometimes we do this. This is class. It ain't for the brother spots to make it better.
Right.
You got it, bro? Bro Raphael. What's a principality, brother?
Angels and spirits.
See that? Angels, demons, spirits. That's what it's talking about in Ephesians chapter 6. That's what you're at war with. That's what you're at war with. If you think it's a spooky word of them wicked thoughts come from that invade your brain, you think it just pop up out of nowhere, where they come from?
That's right.
They come from somewhere, unless you're saying it's just a part of it. I was born with a trigger finger dog, I'm gonna die with you, hit your trigger finger, that's what it is. You believe that?
Right.
Huh? Or did something inspire you to go do that?
That's right.
And if something did, what is it? Inspiration through word and spirit.
That's right.
You got something, bro?
Yeah, I got a precept, Romans 12,
Yeah.
verse 1.
Yeah.
It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind, that ye may prove you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
So it said be transformed by what?
Renewal of your mind.
Renewing of your mind.
That's right.
Right? Not past life, what was we doing? We living in a carnal fleshly mindset. Come get down with Christ, the old man must perish. We must put on the new man in which we are led by the Spirit.
Yeah, when he talk about your old life, he ain't talking about reincarnation.
No. I was jumping apart in my
Ask somebody what you think on that.
When you were in the Word, things you used to do before you start trying to put off those wicked acts.
It's true.
Trying to walk
Before you was born again.
Yeah, right. That's what that means. Not that you King David or
Past life.
no
Reason
man.
why we're here today.
Trey, you got something?
Just a quick question. So they actually were dealing with weapons to fight against something aimed at
Yeah, that's what we about to go into the weapons now.
Yeah.
Because you need spiritual weapons to fight spiritual entities.
Talking about men, building whatever they're building right now.
Oh yeah, they weaponize the space. Right. They weaponize the space. They plan on fighting the Lord upon his return.
Lasers.
They plan on fighting the Lord. It's called space weaponization.
Right.
Laser baby.
Yeah, they got guns that bend metal, bullets that shoot around corners, ammo-less weapons. They got race-specific weapons. This devil done turned it up.
You said race-specific.
Race-specific weapons. Weapons that's designed specifically to get at Israel. So-called blacks and Latinos.
So they got a racist weapon.
Yeah. So this devil done turned it up, you feel me? Because he's in full allegiance with his power.
That's right.
You feel me? With his God. Spiritual wicked, you feel me? All right, let's get this Ephesians 6. Let's identify these weapons. What you need to bang against these principalities, these angels, these demons. Come on now.
Verse 12 again. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Come on.
Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand.
Okay, what's the armor? Come on.
Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with the truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
So he's breaking down weapons of medieval breastplate. He's going to break down a shield, a sword, all that. That's what it's going to break down. But it says have your loins girded with the truth.
That's right.
So what is the truth? Remember a boy a couple weeks ago said, the Bible don't say what truth.
Right.
Your truth could be that, my truth could be this. So what truth do you need to be girded with to successfully wage war against these spirits? Who knows? Who knows what to find?
Verse
Yeah, go ahead. What's that, bro? Go ahead, y'all.
Psalms 119, Psalms 119, verse 142.
Read it. What it say? Read it real quick.
I already know what it says. Thy righteousness is the everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
Oh, okay. So your loins got to be girded about which is the truth, which is what? The law of God.
That's right.
Which means you got to righteously discern between what's right and what's wrong.
That's right.
That's what the law is there for. Have no other God before him. No graven images. Don't take his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath. Our father, mother. Thou shalt not kill, adultery, steal, bear false witness, covet. It's there for a reason. So the loins of your mind got to be girded with that.
That's right.
So when you invaded by a principality, and it say, look, dog, go left, do this, wait for that. It's born. You live the born life. You say, oh, no, get behind me, don't even get to the kingdom. See what I'm saying? You got to be girded about with the truth.
That's right.
And then righteousness. All right? Same thing. I'll tell you in Isaiah 51. You got something?
Yeah, Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commands.
Everything goes back to the commandments of God.
All of them. Understand why truth is connected to the spiritual loin for your mind, because that's the first thing Satan comes with is knowing, or what we would call 2 sexual intercourse. That's the next thing. Once he tricks you, he presents you with that avenue. That's the next thing. Those two are always connected with Satan. Moses didn't come